Conestoga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One of the core responsibilities of any government is to keep Canadians safe and to represent their best interests on the global stage. While here at home, we see the government acting on Canadians...
While here at home, you invite a damn Nazi into Parliament!
The Groceries Act, which we're debating today. There's also a need to work...
Groceries, housing.
Existential...
You had someone from Hitler's kill squad. Talk about that.
...information and the threat to democracy by a growing authoritarianism. Can the Minister of Foreign Affairs outline the work done by her and her colleagues at the UN General Assembly last week to demonstrate Canadian leadership on tackling these critical issues? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Canadians know that more than ever what is happening in the world has an impact on their day-to-day lives. And Canada is definitely stepping up on the world stage. Last week at the UN, I co-hosted an arbitrary detention summit along with Secretary Blinken and Michael Kovrig. At this point, the Declaration on Arbitrary Detention is now signed by 75 countries. We also launched a new declaration along with the Netherlands to fight disinformation by states, signed by the UK and US. This is global leadership, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for South Surrey, White Rock.
Mr. Speaker, as the Chief Opposition Whip, my office was required to provide a list of names and contact information in advance of President Zelensky's address. That information was shared with the Protocol Office and Parliamentary Protective Services, who report directly to the RCMP, who report to the Minister of Public Safety on operational matters. Does the Prime Minister expect Canadians to believe that he invited a world leader currently at war to our Parliament and he didn't vet the list?
It's bullshit.
Mr. Speaker, the government House Leader has made clear our government's...
He looks like Frankenstein who just woke up.
Friday, all parliamentarians were taken by surprise with this particular individual being invited in the gallery. The opposition whip knows very well that the Parliamentary Protective Service reports to the two speakers, the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Commons. And, Mr. Speaker, to pretend otherwise is simply to distance oneself from the facts.
Oh, time to resign.
Dealing with facts, and those are not the facts. The Liberals don't get it. The Prime Minister either knew or ought to have known who was invited to attend. He embarrassed a foreign leader of a country at war and every parliamentarian here. With the resources of RCMP and CSIS at his fingertips, basic due diligence was ignored. Will the Prime Minister take responsibility and explain to Canadians why a Nazi was given a hero's introduction in this House under his watch?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the member opposite knows because she's heard it from you.
Talking quietly doesn't erase the fact you invited a Nazi into the House.
The Prime Minister who either invited this individual or recognized him. She acknowledged that he was recognized during the Speaker's remarks because the facts of the matter are that this individual was invited by the Speaker of the House, was recognized by the Speaker of the House, and did this without informing either the Government of Canada or the Ukrainian delegation. This is profoundly embarrassing to us all.
Nobody believes that.
We need to take this seriously.
Nobody believes he was not vetted at all.
On Friday, a Nazi was given not only a seat in the chamber, but also given a very warm and honoring welcome. Now, this never should have happened. In fact, a list of all guests was given to this government well ahead of time and was thoroughly vetted. Yet somehow this individual was celebrated. So does the Liberal government truly expect Canadians to believe that they really had no clue?
The Honourable Government House.
There you go.
Mr. Speaker, I have clearly laid the facts on the table several times today. And in fact, the only person who invited this individual
was the House Speaker
to recognize them was the Speaker of the House. The Parliamentary Protective Service followed all security protocols to ensure the security of the event. However, I agree with the member opposite. This should have never happened. This is profoundly embarrassing, profoundly disappointing to all members in this House and to all Canadians. And to that, we stand with all Canadian communities that are impacted and, of course, with Ukraine. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Lethbridge.
There's just no way that this is correct. You have a world leader whose country is at war. He came to Parliament as a state guest. He was granted some of the strictest security that has ever been granted to a world leader prior to him. And yet that individual was here with a Nazi in his presence. And this government would like me and other Canadians to believe that somehow this individual was not thoroughly vetted, that somehow this list was not viewed by the Prime Minister's office. That's what this side of the House, that side of the House, the Prime Minister would like.
The honourable government House Leader.
In fact, the Speaker has actually already clarified.
Look at Freeland's face.
That this was his decision alone, that he did not inform
what a shit show.
the Ukrainian delegation, that this was entirely his decision. Mr. Speaker, I cannot, force the Conservative members to believe what the facts are. I can only put them on the table as they are. They have been clearly outlined, and we will continue to stand by them because that is the truth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
L'honorable député.
The honourable.
Oh, they're so screwed.
Matapédia. Mr. Speaker, while the Environment Minister was strutting around in New York, he had the nerve to lecture Quebec on the fight against climate change. Meanwhile, he said that his government wasn't just paying lip service. No, they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. But how? What did the Liberals do at the UN Climate Ambition Summit? They opened up thousands more kilometers of marine areas to oil exploration projects. Neither protecting biodiversity nor the climate emergency will stop this government from selling oil. No siree. When are they going to take the future of the planet seriously? The Honourable Environment Minister.
I don't know, ask the Nazi.
I thank my colleague for her question. Last week, it was an honour to accompany the Prime Minister. Canada is the only big oil producing country which was invited to the UN Climate Ambition Summit. And why were we invited? Because between 2019 and 2021, we were the country with the best GHG reduction performance. And, Mr. Speaker, we're the only G20 country to have cut subsidies to fossil fuels. We did so 2 years earlier than promised, and we were the first country to cap emissions. That's why we were invited.
Thanks for watching the video to the very end. If you'd like to subscribe, I've made it very easy. You can do so by clicking right there. If you'd like to watch another House of Commons highlight clip, you can do so by clicking right there. And if you'd like to subscribe to my main channel, Mistersunshinebaby, where it's all Canadian political news, then you can do so by tapping up there. Subscribing is absolutely free. There's a button down below that says subscribe. If you'd like to join and become a member and financially contribute, you could do so as well. Thank you so much for watching this video.